Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you this soft, sultry glam that you can achieve at home. So first, what I did is I started with my brows. I always like to comb them through first. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the color dark brown, just using feathery strokes all along my natural brow. And then when I finish, I just like to spoolie the product through. You see, brows in no time, girl. Then I'm using Shape Tape from Tarte. This concealer is everywhere. I'm using the Morphe M432 brush to get those really clean, sharp lines, and then using a Real Techniques Expert Concealer brush just to blend it all out. For foundation, I'm using my favorite, which is Too Faced Born This Way, and I'm in the color Light Beige. This has been honestly one of my go-to foundations for quite a while now. I just find that the coverage is just so pretty, and it's not super duper full coverage. You can definitely build it up, but for me, I just like the natural finish. I actually just recommended this to a friend, and she really liked it too, so it's really good for all sorts of different skin types. I like that it's not a matte finish, so it just looks really natural. And as you can see, I'm just building up the coverage in the areas that I just want a little bit more coverage, and I'm blending it out using, of course, a dampened beauty blender. Okay, so this is the first time that I used Tarte Shape Tape, and I was surprised at how big the applicator was, and this is just one dip of product. I didn't go back to get more because, girl, this is some heavy duty concealer. I always take the concealer up onto my eyes as well because that acts as my primer. I don't typically put on a primer beforehand, yeah, sue me, but then I just blend it all in and together. And then I like to do the exclamation point on my nose just to get highlighted in the areas that I want highlighted. As you'll notice, I don't put concealer on my chin, but for me that's just a personal preference. Next, I wanted to do some cream contouring. So I'm using my Makeup Revolution Cream Contour Kit along with a dual-sided brush from Morphe for foundation. I just really like the smaller brush. I've never used the bigger end of this brush, but I really like its size. It works really well, especially for cream contour for me. So as you'll notice, I put it in the hollows of my face to give myself some cheekbones. I built it up because I wanted a little bit more coverage on my forehead, all the way around, and then of course on my neck and my jawline. And then I also wanted to contour my nose a little bit, so I used the very edge of this brush, just went along my nose all the way up to my brows. I also just did a little arc just to give myself a natural sort of nose contour. And then of course you're just going to blend it all out. I like to start with the bottom of my face just so that way I can kind of get rid of that product, because that one for me can be sort of messy. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort and it's just easiest. And then I like to start at the top of my cheekbones and blend downward. You can see how it sort of all starts to blend together, the foundation, the concealer, and the contour. And you keep blending until it looks seamless, okay? And then I just take the tip of my beauty blender and I blend out that nose contour. Next, I'm setting my under eyes as well as my eyes with Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This, of course, is so that the concealer doesn't crease. I also went ahead and set my forehead because I have fine lines. I just gotta get in there quickly. Because I wanted to go for a soft, easy look, I went with the Morphe 35 O palette. I didn't want to have a crazy amount of different colors and palettes, so first I set my eyes with my Morphe E27 brush with translucent setting powder before I go in with the shadow. And then I like to start really light-handedly. It doesn't look like there's much product on there getting on my eyes, but as you can see, we just keep building it up. Next, I'm going to take a deeper color on my Luxie 205 Tapered blending brush, and I'm going to add that to the outer part of my crease. And I'm just blending everything together. And what I'm doing here, I'm taking the same brush that I was using with a lighter color with some translucent setting powder and blending everything. What we're doing is we're diffusing the color. We want it to all look seamless. Next, I'm using this beautiful Elizabeth Mott blending brush with the darkest, deepest color that we're going to use. And you can see that I'm concentrating that on the outer portion of my crease and the outer portion of my eye. Now I'm using my favorite color in the Morphe palette. This is their Duochrome. It's just a soft pink with a nice gold shift to it. As you can see, I'm just using a flat brush to get the color on the lid. Lastly, I'm going in with the lightest color just to pull everything together on my lower lash line. Okay, so here's the fun part, the liquid liner. I love this Girlactik liquid liner. It makes everything so easy. As you can see, it's pretty effortless. First, I like to start going outward from my eye and then moving my way towards my nose. And as you can see, I like to take it in just small steps so that way you can step back, evaluate, see what you're doing. For me, that is the key. And then just connecting everything. That's the last bit of it. I like to change the way that I'm holding my hand so that way I can get the most color payoff in bigger swipes, especially when I'm filling things in. As you can see, I'm taking my time, looking where I see little imperfections and just going back and filling them in. Patience and testing and trying and practice is the key to a good liquid liner. I promise you will get there if you haven't already. I've been in love with tightlining my eyes for the past couple of weeks. Why? I don't know. I never used to do it. So I'm just using the blackest black liner that I have and just tightlining my eyes. It is scary. It's daunting. Make sure your pencil is sharp enough so it doesn't poke you with the wood. Scary girl. Next, I'm curling my eyelashes before putting on mascara and before putting on falsies. For falsies, I'm using the new Ardell Faux Mink lashes. These are in the style 810. I saw them at Ulta and I couldn't resist. They definitely are dramatic, but they're not overwhelming for your eye. They're not huge like some of the Huda Beauty lashes, and they really just, I love the way that they look. So I use my dual lash glue, let the glue of course get tacky, and then I like to first apply it as you saw with my tweezers, then go in with my fingers so that I don't poke myself, and then just adjust everything, fine tune as needed. Then I went in with the same mascara on my lower lash line before doing my bronzer. My holy grail bronzer has always been Benefit's Hoola, and it is just stunning. It's my favorite. I take it up onto my forehead, on the same places that we contoured before. We're just deepening it up a little bit. I also wanted to deepen up my nose contour a bit, so I'm using that same Expert concealer brush just because I really like the way it's shaped. For blush today, I'm using my new favorite. This is from Becca. This is in the color Wild Honey. It's such a pretty, sort of muted, understated apricot shade, but a little bit deeper. It's just been gorgeous for me. I've really been enjoying it. And then I'm setting my face with Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray before going in with the coveted highlight. This is from Becca. This is Opal. This is an OG. Everybody loves it, and I do too. I didn't like it at first when I first got it, but now I am just obsessed because I am glowing so that they can see me from NASA. And as you can see, I'm taking it on the high points of my face with a fan brush. Next, I'm using my finger for some precision highlighting. I like to do, once again, the exclamation point. I start with the tip of my nose and then the bridge of my nose, and then you just gotta blend it all in so that way it looks more quote-unquote natural. And then of course going into the Cupid's bow just to get that extra glow. Next, I'm going in with my NYX lip liner. This is in the color Nude, one of my all-time favorites. This literally goes with everything. Go to Ulta, go get it. And then I'm using this beautiful lippy from ColourPop. This is one of their satin lips, so it's not matte, doesn't dry down completely. This is in the color Echo Park. And just like that, that concludes this look. I hope you enjoyed this easy, soft, sultry, chic glam. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you on Instagram. Bye!